Hello, and welcome again to African Farming Narratives with Magmac channel. It has been a long while since we made a video like this one. It is a special video today, I can promise you that. We talk about all things that are farming related on this channel. But also of special importance to this channel is the growing of castor beans and the production of castor beans and castor oil. If you are interested in this kind of farming and you don't know how to, I would encourage you to subscribe to this channel and watch all the videos that we've already released regarding castor beans. Or if you just want to know about castor beans, just go back, watch all the previous video, but do not forget to hit that like button and do not forget to comment in the comment section to tell us what you think, about the videos that you watch. However, today is a special day because we have got a guest on the channel today. He's from Nigeria. I don't know much about Nigeria myself, but I've got a feeling that that is going to change from now. This guest is an expert in castor beans production, not only in Nigeria, though they are based in Nigeria. They work with other African countries as well. I think that this guest has got the kind of content, the kind of information that is sought after by castor bean farmers and by those who are aspiring to become castor bean farmers themselves. So Solomon, I just want to welcome you to our channel today. I would like you to now tell us who you are in your own words and tell us which organization you represent, and also tell us about what you do and how you work with farmers and what the vision of your organization is. We will also need to know how we can get in touch with you, and also we will want to find out how we can work with you, or how other farmers can work with you. I also have a feeling, Solomon, that we are going to see a lot of you on this channel. So over to you, Solomon. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, thank you very much, Magmac. My name is Solomon Aga. I'm from Nigeria, like you said. And I'm a castor farmer. But most importantly, I work with the African Castor Acres Foundation, ACAF. African Castor Acres Foundation is a non-profit organization that promotes the specific knowledge of castor bean farming and oil production in Nigeria and Africa. Our most important objective is to promote the knowledge of castor bean cultivation, because it is vague. It is almost non-existent to most African farmers, especially in Nigeria. So we do offer free sensitization and training for castor bean farmers. I also try to connect them to off-takers for those of them who are able to cultivate. We also make sure that we collaborate with seed manufacturers from India, Brazil. We also try to make sure that the communities in which where they live are also making land for cultivation, that's farmland for cultivation, available for them. So these and some other little ways are the ways we try to help to support castor farming in Nigeria. We have alliances with some other castor farmers who live outside Nigeria. We have tried to offtake most of their products, because sometimes the issue of offtake of the castor beans happens to be a little bit challenging. I work with, like I said, I work with the African Castor Acres Foundation, a non-profit, which you can also Google up online. You can see all my contacts there, assuming you really want to get in touch with me. We are open to working with anybody as long as you are an African, because the main vision is to see how we can articulate and coordinate the activities of castor farmers in Africa generally. So we are open to collaboration, partnership, in different projects, in different areas of castor bean cultivation and also castor bean oil processing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Solomon. That is interesting, and I think that is a lot that your organization does with farmers and for farmers in Africa. And I think I picked up from your response there that you work with off-takers who are mainly from India. That's where I come from in Zimbabwe, and I think it is the organizations that do what you do normally, well, not normally, but most of them, they work with Chinese people, so it's India is different. I also understand that India and China are the two biggest produce. Well, I don't know about producing. I don't know whether they produce. I know in India they produce. I don't know much about China, but they are the two biggest users and purchasers of castor beans or castor oil. So thank you for clarifying that you work with Indian companies that buy the castor beans and the castor oils from farmers in Africa. So 2 questions really, Solomon, if you can respond to those 2 questions, that will be great. If I am in Zimbabwe, for instance, or if I were in Kenya, or if I were in another country, how do you get the seeds to us? I know that from doing a background search on your company, I know that you've got a representative in South Africa, which is great. I'm presuming that the representative in South Africa is the one that the South African farmers would get in touch with. So if I'm in Zimbabwe, or I'm in Kenya, or I'm in Zambia, how would you get the seeds to us? And how would you buy them from us? How would you collect them from us after we've harvested? And I think the other question I wanted to ask as well was that if I was a large-scale farmer in another African country and I need advice, I need expert advice, what would you do? Do you work with those? Do you get those farmers to come to Nigeria, or do you travel to those farmers to give them the expert advice that they need? Over to you.
Again, Mac. Yeah, I need to clarify that point actually. We do have alliances with Indians, but that's in the areas of procuring our inputs from them. Indians is known worldwide as the biggest producer of castor seed. They also manufacture the seeds and other inputs in India, while China, like you said, also are the biggest buyers. China buys Indian castor oil as well and converts them to sebacic acid, plasticine, and a lot of other things. Right now, we really need to get across to people in other African countries. It's not going to be a direct thing. We try to aggregate, try to locate castor farmers who are resident there and groom them over time, try to reach out to other farmers and bring them together. As the clusters grow, we try to connect them and sense their challenges. As we are growing, we are bound to also profile solutions to some of these challenges. Like what is very prominent with most African farmers of castor is that they can't find they can't get to find a place where they will buy the seeds. And when they do buy it sometimes or online, they have difficulty in locating an off-taker, rather, someone who's going to like buy up whatever they have cultivated, since some of them do not even know how to process the oil, as it were. So the main thing we do is that we partner also with a lot of castor oil producers, both here in Nigeria and in other African countries. So besides that, we also partner with castor oil producers in places like Japan and also China, like you mentioned. The Indians wouldn't really need you to sell them castor oil because they are the world's biggest producer of castor oil. So we partner with those other countries that do not produce as much as the Indians do. So I think the other question you asked was about how can we collaborate with people outside Nigeria, for instance, or maybe you said when they want to buy seeds. Yeah, like I said, we try to see how we can establish connections with other castor farmers in most African countries. That was how we also developed our cluster right now in South Africa. We got to one castor farmer, started relating with them. They came together under one umbrella and started growing. From online sensitization, we went up to physical sensitization and training, and then supervision of their castor farms and monitoring of most projects that they have over there. That's how we grow. But we can't really come in when there is when there's no contact, when there's nobody in a particular country or location to receive us. So we do a whole lot of online activity. We try to reach out. Like also, there are a lot of resources, you can agree with me, materials you can find online on castor. These were put online by certain persons who are also experienced. These are professionals in the field. You can see from the materials they turn out that they are trying to make connection as well. They're trying to reach out. They're trying to create a market. So the need is actually there. So when you go through what the content that you find online, you try to connect with whoever is trying to promote such information. And who knows, something will always connect, and that's it. So like you mentioned also, if we assuming someone who's into large-scale farming and he wants to use our services, well, that's easy. Depending on the size of the project, we can usually we travel. If it's not something we can do online, we usually travel to supervise and monitor. But most times, before anyone can even go into large-scale castor farming, he must be someone who is experienced, though. So it's usually easier when such a project, there's such a project, so that if maybe the person needs some expert advice, the person can schedule a visit, or maybe we can agree on terms of services that we render to him. But there are basic services with African Castor Acres Foundation. That's my non-profit organization, which you don't pay for. But besides that, there are people who are also professionals. There are also farmers who work under non-profits. They have a kind of a collaboration thing with the non-profit. Because of the kind of services they render, you might need to pay them. But basically, we'll try to see how we can make things easier for upcoming farmers. If we can put ourselves together, I believe that with time, Africa can actually grow a hub of castor bean farming and oil processing business. That is, if we can come together. There's a whole lot of activity in that direction now coming up in Africa. With all the challenges, with all the differences in the location and all that, yet these activities has persisted. We hope that with time, we are going to overcome most of the challenges we are having in this field. Thank you very much, Mark. And I thank you especially for finding the time to do this interview, because as I speak to you, I'm visualizing a whole lot of things, some of the challenges. And I do hope that we may want to do this more often, so that sometimes I could also come up with pictures, videos, and practical examples that will help inform people more on what we do. Thank you very much.
Oh, Solomon, thank you for that. Thank you for the education on the differences between China and India, and who produces and who buys. I really didn't know. So, but it makes sense that the Indians are the biggest producers. And I have seen so many videos on YouTube, if you ask, and I've read quite a lot about India and the farms in India. I was actually on the phone the other day with a guy who was trying to sell me something on the phone. I think it was about a mobile phone contract or something, and I talked about how, oh, I've got a YouTube channel on castor beans, and he was like, oh my God, he was an Indian. This is what all we Indians know, castor beans. So yeah, I suppose they won't want to buy so much from us. So thank you for that. And also thank you for the other explanations. And I think that as time goes on, we at African Farming Narratives with MagMac, we will also be willing to work with you. We will be willing to be your contact, maybe in Zimbabwe. So all the viewers of this channel, you've heard it here first. We may, in the near future, start selling seeds, and also helping you to connect you with the off-takers. It is a very, very interesting conversation. I'm sure we cannot finish talking about everything in just this one video. So Solomon, I would like to invite you again and again and again to this channel. I'm sure we are going to have so many questions and so many probing questions, so many inquiries, I'm sure will come as a result of this video. And if you are interested in castor bean farming, and you are interested and something has been said in this video that is of interest to you, please do not hesitate to come in the comment section, ask questions, contribute anything you want to contribute, and if there is anything we can respond to, we will respond, and we can involve Solomon again to try and answer some of your questions. So thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for coming back to our channel. Please do not forget to subscribe and hit that like button, and see you in the next one. Stay blessed and remain blessed. Bye.